For centuries, humanity has peered into the cosmos with a mixture of curiosity and caution, a vigilant eye always turned toward the unknown. Inspired by old science fiction tales, media warnings, and countless research papers, humanity was reminded of the possibility that something, or someone, might be out there. Each technological advancement, from early telescopes to deep space scanners, expanded our understanding but also intensified our collective anxiety. As our strength, unity, and technology advanced, so did our determination. We became a species that learned from our history, and even in times of peace, we trained for the possibility of war. We never truly assumed we were alone, and while the question of other life loomed unanswered, we prepared for every scenario, calculating and ready to act decisively if the moment ever arrived. That moment arrived sooner than anyone anticipated. Humanity's deep space scanners, usually met with the calm hum of cosmic noise, picked up an unusual signal. It was a structured, unmistakably intelligent transmission coming from a distant galaxy's edge, too precise to be natural, too rhythmic to be anything but intentional. It was undeniable proof we were not alone. A jolt of awe and fear coursed through every corner of the Earth, from underground labs to the halls of government. Every nation's best and brightest were mobilized to analyze and interpret this discovery. Scientists decoded fragments of the alien message, while intelligence analysts scoured the signals for patterns that could reveal the aliens' intentions. In unison, they worked to decipher every possible detail without giving away Earth's own coordinates, understanding that a reckless reveal could be disastrous. The analysis was detailed and intense, and slowly, information about this alien species came into focus. Their technology was advanced beyond our own, refined to a level that seemed impossible to human eyes. Yet, something strange became apparent: these beings had no interest in Earth or its people. Humanity observed their distant activities, piecing together what they could, and all evidence pointed to a dismissive alien presence that barely regarded Earth. They were there, on the outskirts of our galaxy, yet they saw us as trivial, insignificant, and, as humanity interpreted it, utterly beneath their notice. Despite the confirmation of other life, the atmosphere on Earth was cautious rather than celebratory. Scientists, engineers, and world leaders shared a sense of mutual unease. The aliens weren't hostile, at least not in any explicit way. But their disinterest was laced with a clear message: they neither valued nor feared us. The assumption that we could be ignored was as dismissive as it was unsettling. Then came a message, one intercepted by humanity's best decoders. The alien race had indeed taken notice of us, but in a way that stung with quiet arrogance. Their transmission was brief, distant, and nearly incomprehensible at first, as if delivered in passing. But as humanity deciphered the words, a condescending tone was unmistakable. The aliens essentially deemed humanity beneath them and advised that Earth not interfere with their affairs. The underlying implication was chilling. They saw us as a primitive species, irrelevant to their grander objectives. It was not a threat, at least not an open one, but a kind of cosmic brush-off, a reminder that they could dismiss us at their whim. Around the world, scientists and analysts debated the meaning of the alien message. Was it a warning? A dismissal? Was there a hidden intent that humanity had failed to decode? In any case, the arrogance alone was enough to alarm Earth's leaders. The aliens might not be overtly hostile, but their presence and attitude left no room for comfort. Humanity had no choice but to consider its options carefully, as though preparing for a confrontation that, while unnecessary in this moment, might erupt at any time. While the immediate stance was to keep a low profile, the leaders of Earth understood that this strange new presence could not be ignored. Defensive contingencies were put in place as scientists and engineers re-evaluated every system, every weapon, every strategic plan. The objective was simple: if they returned, if they deemed us worth their time in a way that brought conflict, we would be ready. Amid the tension, a decision was reached at the highest levels. The world's governments, united under an unprecedented accord, formulated a single, simple protocol for any potential future interaction. If the aliens ever acted with hostility, if they so much as brushed our boundaries, humanity would respond decisively. We would not be intimidated, subjugated, or reduced to a species that could be brushed aside. This time, humanity would make its stance clear. After days of deliberation, analysis, and strategizing, a message was crafted. It was direct, concise, and unyielding, a mirror to the alien attitude but infused with human resilience. Our own message would carry no warmth or ambiguity, only resolve: do not approach. Perish if you intend harm. This transmission, sent out on secure frequencies, was the line in the sand. It was humanity's final word, a simple statement that left no room for misinterpretation. We would not be patrons to the arrogance of any alien power. It was our world, and we had just declared it, for better or worse, to the cosmos. Humanity's deep space sensors picked up a disturbance on the edge of the solar system. An alien fleet, silent and ominous, advanced with slow, deliberate movements. They weren't charging aggressively, instead, they were deploying reconnaissance probes, scattered like seeds across the void. The signal was unmistakable: the aliens intended to observe, analyze, and potentially challenge Earth's defenses. In control rooms worldwide, the alarms were raised, and screens flashed with incoming data. The fleet's size and organization were unsettling, a stark reminder that the aliens were as advanced as previously assessed, and now, they seemed to be sizing us up. In urgent meetings, world leaders and military officials gathered to address the impending threat. Some voices demanded immediate offensive strikes, arguing that humanity couldn't risk waiting until the alien fleet got any closer. Others cautioned against provoking the aliens prematurely, recommending a defensive stance to assess the aliens' full intent. After intense debate, a strategy was formed: Earth would defend itself against any further advances, holding back only if the aliens didn't cross defined boundaries. Humanity was prepared to respond decisively, ready to act if the intruders proved themselves hostile. Around the globe, militaries and defense organizations pooled their resources under a single, unified front. For the first time in history, every major nation set aside differences, working in unison to confront a shared threat. This collective preparation was staggering. The best minds in weaponry, engineering, and strategy collaborated seamlessly, determined to keep Earth safe. Humanity deployed its most advanced defenses: orbital weapon platforms, electromagnetic pulse, EMP, systems, cyber defenses, and even experimental energy-based weapons designed to disrupt or disable alien tech. High-orbit satellites were repositioned for maximum coverage, tracking the alien fleet's every move. Teams of engineers ran simulations, refining tactics for every conceivable encounter. Humanity's resolve solidified, as governments and citizens alike rallied around the collective goal of survival and sovereignty. If they came closer, humanity would be ready. As the alien fleet crept forward, it sent a series of probes through the atmosphere, each one descending like a silent harbinger. Humanity's defense protocols allowed a single probe to pass through, landing in a remote desert under strict observation. Scientists, clad in protective gear, approached the probe, examining it with a mix of caution and curiosity. Its structure was unlike anything human eyes had seen: sleek, metallic, adorned with markings that pulsed faintly. As they dismantled it, analysts marveled at its intricate design, clearly more advanced than anything on Earth. But within the complexity, they found exploitable weaknesses. The probe was vulnerable to specific frequencies, susceptible to EMPs, and, surprisingly, displayed an over-reliance on centralized data relays. Humanity's leaders took note of these discoveries, preparing to deploy countermeasures should the aliens advance further. The probe's design confirmed the aliens' technological superiority but hinted at flaws humanity could use to their advantage. As additional probes descended, they began gathering detailed scans, transmitting data back to the alien fleet. Each pulse of information seemed to chip away at humanity's illusion of privacy, exposing Earth's resources, cities, and defenses to alien scrutiny. Every passing hour intensified the urgency in Earth's command centers. Leaders and strategists understood the implications. This was no mere reconnaissance mission but the precursor to something far graver. Humanity's leaders made the call. With the alien fleet encroaching on the inner solar system, Earth would not stand idle. Humanity's first engagement began, a show of force against the intruders, intended to send a clear message. In coordinated strikes, Earth's defenses launched a surprise assault on the alien probes. EMP pulses surged through the air, disabling several probes instantly. Targeted lasers from orbit burned through the probe's outer shells, rendering them useless before they could transmit any more information. The aliens, clearly unprepared for such an aggressive response from what they considered a lesser species, faltered. Some probes attempted to retreat, but the damage was done. Earth's defenders had struck with precision, revealing both their readiness and the strength of their resolve. As the final alien probe fell silent, humanity transmitted a stark reminder across the void, aimed directly at the alien fleet. Leave or perish. It was a message unadorned with diplomacy, bearing the weight of humanity's resolve and the warning that any further intrusion would be met with unrelenting force. This was Earth's line in the sand, drawn with a clarity that required no translation. The alien fleet surged forward, breaking into the inner solar system with an intensity that shattered any pretense of reconnaissance. Ships larger and more ominous than anything humanity had ever seen advanced in calculated formation, each bristling with strange weapons and auras of unfamiliar energy. Their retaliation was undeniable, the time for silent observation had passed, and the invasion had begun. Earth's response was immediate and decisive. Coordinated from command centers across the globe, humanity's leaders, scientists, and military officials operated in seamless unison. Strategies were analyzed and deployed in real time, and every defensive protocol was initiated with precision. Humanity's response was relentless, deploying EMP blasts, orbital weaponry, and focused energy attacks. Each weapon struck with pinpoint accuracy, exploiting weaknesses discovered during probe analysis. Alien ships faltered as blasts severed their communications, isolating units from each other. Each alien vessel destroyed echoed in Earth's command centers as a victory. Every successful strike fueled the morale of humanity's defenders, affirming that they could, indeed, repel this superior force. Against all odds, the aliens found themselves cornered, contending with a unified humanity whose resolve and ingenuity defied expectations. The clash grew fiercer with each passing moment, and Earth's defenders were ready to see it through to the end. Despite the aliens' advanced technology, humanity's strategy soon began to turn the tide of battle. Through unconventional tactics, Earth's forces forced alien ships into formations that allowed for concentrated attacks. Waves of EMP blasts disrupted the aliens' synchronized maneuvers, sowing confusion. Attacks hit centralized data relays and energy reserves, throwing alien formations into disarray. Isolated and unable to regroup, alien ships became easy targets for coordinated strikes, each one falling under the relentless human assault. Humanity's unconventional tactics dismantled the aliens' initial confidence, and the invaders, now realizing they'd underestimated their opponents, began an uncoordinated retreat. The alien forces, still formidable but shaken, regrouped for one final assault. Their last wave bore down on Earth's defenders with renewed ferocity, as if determined to reclaim control. But humanity was prepared. In a final, united strike, Earth's forces executed a calculated assault that overwhelmed the alien remnants. With surgical precision, orbital platforms, ground-based weapons, and EMP bursts targeted the remaining ships. Alien vessels exploded or drifted into the void, defeated. The last ships broke formation, scattering in a chaotic retreat beyond the solar system. Humanity's warning, perish, had been realized, echoing in the empty silence left by the aliens' desperate flight. The cosmos now knew of humanity's strength. In the aftermath, Earth celebrated. Humanity stood not only as survivors but as victors, aware of their newfound position as a force to be reckoned with. Leaders pledged to advance Earth's defenses, vowing that future threats would be met with the same unity and resilience. The memory of this victory solidified humanity's resolve, an unspoken agreement that Earth would never again stand vulnerable. Humanity, strengthened and united, was ready for whatever the cosmos might bring.